Yeah, sometimes I really like to interact with everyone. I like to interact with all the generation. But most important thing that I like to listen is that how people talk about love. Everybody talks about love, right? We write songs about it, we cry about it, we pray for it, we write books, we act movies, we do all sorts of things about love. But in my little experience with my counterparts, the people I relate with, the people I listen to, I seem not to find really truth about love. But slowly, I am coming to understand what it means by love, what it means by true love. And here is the thing: most of what we have been told about love actually is not true. What we have been told about love, what we watch in movies, what we read in the movies, to me it seems not to be really true per se. This is what I try to discover. We think we think love should always feel good, always be fair, always last forever. This is actually what that will last forever, be permanent. No, but real love, you want to know? Real love is messier. Real love is much messier. That is real love. I don't know whether you may agree with me, but I really feel that I think that real love is messier. It is deeper, and sometimes it hurts. So today, I want us to just sit together and talk about what I call the 5 painful truths about love. I will give you real, ordinary example, things that you and I have probably lived through, so that this truth don't just make sense in mine or your head, but hit you right away or right here. If you want to hand over your heart, please do it fast. And if you don't want to listen to me, please, you can walk and decide to take a risk. Try to put your heart to me if you want to listen. This painful or 5 painful truths about love. What I really understand or I discovered about really love, the first thing is that love is not possession. This is what I realized, that love is not possession. Let me be honest. We all say it. My partner, my child, my friend. We think they are ours. Actually, we really think they are ours. But love does not mean possession. When we grip too tightly, when we try to control someone, we don't protect love, we suffocate it. Think of a parent. They raise a child with all their love, sacrifice, sleepless nights, everything. But one day, the child grows up, finds their own path, and leaves home. And the parents feels like their heart is being torn apart. Why? Because deep down, they believed this child is mine. I'm talking to the parents. I don't know whether you ever thought, you ever felt this. But here's the truth. That child was never theirs to keep. Only theirs to love, guide, and then let go. Yes, they were there only to love, guide, and then let go. That is love. That is not chains. It is wings. And I think if we are honest, many of us struggle here. Yes, if we are really honest, many of us struggle here. We cannot hold on, but really love whispers, if you love me, let me be free. This is true love. True love is freedom. True love is not possession. This is why deep inside your very heart we say that if you truly love, let me be free. Let that sink. I don't know if this makes sense to you, and if it makes sense to you, share your own experience about it. And the second thing that I discovered about love exposes wounds. I say it again, that love exposes wounds. You know what love is really good at? You know that? You know what love is really good at? This might sound very, very, very simple and interesting. Love is good at showing us our weaknesses. If you truly love and you reflect about love, you realize that love shows us our weaknesses. Not in a cruel way, but in a mirror kind of way. You think you are strong, healed, confident, and then you fall in love, right? Suddenly, a word from your partner, a small action, you are triggered. You feel pain. you didn't even know you were carrying. Yes, this is where you discover that love really reveals our weakness. I'll give you an example. A man I know, don't ask me which man, my friend I know, very confident, very proud. He starts dating, or he started dating. Everything is fine until one day his partner says something small, just a little criticism. What did he tell him? He tell him that I don't feel comfortable. He just told him something very simple, that I'm not comfortable with your hairstyle. Just something as small as that. Just a small criticism. You can call it a feedback. And suddenly he's crushed. My friend was crushed, not because of what she said, but because it touched an old wound of rejection he's been hiding since childhood. Yes, it reminded him of the rejection that he passed through when he was young. This is why love reveals our true weakness. That's what actually love does. It digs up buried pain and it hurts. But without love, we would probably keep pretending those wounds don't exist. Love doesn't just give us joy. It gives us a mirror. And sometimes that is the hardest part. I'm sure those who really experience love will concur with me on this matter, that love really reveals our true weaknesses. And the third thing that I really understood about true love is that love is not equal exchange. Okay? Let's be real, gentlemen and ladies. Most of us secretly want love to be fair, right? We think I will give 50, you give 50. You see these days people talk of I transport you, you pay my food. No? I transport you, you can complete. That they think that things should be fair, things should be 50-50. Equal effort, equal care. Sounds good, right? This one sounds really good, right? But real love doesn't work like that. Yeah, really love does not work like that. Sometimes one person carries more. Sometimes one gives more. Why the other can't? And if you expect love to always be balanced, you are setting yourself up for disappointment. I'll give you an example again that still touches me. A woman caring for her sick husband. She cooks for him, feeds him, helps him work day after day. He can't give her much back. The man is sick, the man is bedridden, but can't give her much back. In the same way, she's exhausted, and some days she asks herself, is this fair? But that is when she discovers something deeper. Love is not a business contract. Yes, I repeat that love is not a business contract. It is not about keeping scores. It is about devotion, about giving when the other person can. And yes, it is hard. It is draining sometimes. But isn't that where love shows it is really beauty? When it keeps giving, even when it is not. I think, in my own opinion, that this is where we find the really beauty of love. True love. Not just love of words, but when we cannot give back or we cannot get anything. This is where we find we are really loving. The fourth thing that identify or really discovered about love, that love demands ego's death. Now I'm sure this will kill men. This will kill most of them that will may listen to me. That love demands ego's death. Really? Love demands ego's death. Here's one thing, one that stinks. This one really, it is really painful. Love and ego cannot live together. I'm sure for men you will discover, if you're really man and you have been in love, you will discover that love and ego, they will not really live together. No? If pride runs the show, love doesn't survive. Picture this. Two close friends have a fight. Both are angry. Both are proud. Days go by, then weeks, months. Neither one wants to apologize. The friendship feels dead, right? And then finally, one of them swallows their pride. Just says, I'm sorry, guy. Or I'm sorry, my buddy. And just that, the wall breaks. The bond is restored. But think about it. What had to die for that love to live again? Ego, pride, control. Those are three things that it has to be eliminated in order for true love to come in. That is the painful truth. If you want to love, you have to let part of yourself die. Not your whole self, just the selfish, stubborn, controlling parts. And that is hard for most of us men. Even for most women, this is also very hard. Especially for my sisters or my friends who are independent. This is a very hard thing for most of us, where killing our pride or killing our ego becomes something very hard. And that is hard, but without humility, love suffocates. If this has spoken to you like it has spoken to me, feel free to share your own view. And the fifth point that I would like to share, probably it can be the last one, is that love cannot cure loneliness. Right? One of those days I'm still a very young man. Most of my friends will ask, "You married? I mean, you are too lonely. Why are you always lonely?" You know? And I could just make fun with them and say, "Right, I'm dedicated to God." You know? I will make that kind of fun. Like, if you want to fill up your loneliness, if you feel you're very low, find somebody else. You know? This one really, this one is tough, right? A lot of us believe in this, that if I find someone to love me, I will never feel lonely. This has been the philosophy or ideology of most people, but that is not how it works. My own experience, my own sharing with people, that love doesn't fix loneliness. It doesn't heal the emptiness inside, right? If you are broke inside, another person's love won't fix it. It will just shine a light on it. I will share an example. A man felt deeply, right? He thought marriage would cure it. So he married quickly. And at first, it worked perfectly. He felt happy. But soon, the loneliness came back, even stronger. Why? Because he was asking his wife to fill a hole that only he could face. And that is the truth. Love can walk beside you, or can walk beside you, but it can't do your inner work for you. It can't replace self-acceptance. If you are empty, or if I'm empty, love will magnify that emptiness until you face yourself. Painful, true. Painful, but true. So they are the 5 painful truths about love. The one you have heard. The first aspect is that love does not possess, or love is not possession. It is freedom. The second thing that love exposes our wounds. It shows where we need healing. Love is not equal exchange. It is devotion beyond fairness. Love demands ego's death because pride kills love. And again, love can't cure loneliness because that is our work to do. Now, these truths, they don't make love less beautiful, right? They make it more sacred. Because love isn't just about making life easy. Isn't just about making life easy. It is about making us more real, more human, more alive. So here is my invitation to you who is listening to me. Love deeply, love freely, love without fear. And remember this, you may lose a person, but you can never lose love. Because love is what you are. Just think about this, that you may lose a person, but you can never lose love. Because love is what you are. Those who are new to my, feel free to subscribe, comment, and like, and also debate with me. Share your own opinion, share your own experience about the love. Until then, you can have your own say.